Judgment is coming to the United States of America, and more specifically, California. I had a vision last week of a city burning, absolutely burning. Fire and brimstone. It appeared and looked like a nuclear holocaust. I talked about this a little bit in a video that I produced last week, and I didn't know where it was or what I was looking at. Some people said, Christopher, it's New York, but it's not. I had confirmation last night, and I saw that same vision again. That city was downtown Los Angeles. Now, we've seen the birth pangs in California recently with two major earthquakes, giving way to the warning that the big one is about to hit. You know, we look at California today, and by the way, it's dominated by Democrat politics. And I'm from there, by the way. I'm from California. My family left many, many years ago because of a number of reasons, really social, moral, cultural decline. We look at places like Hollywood, and it really has just become this bad, evil place. And maybe it's always been that way. I don't know. But I grew up in Southern California, and I've seen it transition into something I don't even recognize. Homelessness on the street, drug addicts passing away, literally in common neighborhoods. And it's just so sad and terrible. Now, I keep seeing these visions now. I see this vision of Los Angeles burning. I see it as a fire pit, and it conjures up images of Sodom and Gomorrah right before God destroyed that evil, venomous, and vile land. And remember, angels were sent to Lot at the time, and they had to pull him physically away, him and his family and his wife, and they told him, leave, get out of the city, Lot. The people from every corner of Sodom and Gomorrah attempted to make love. The males did. Young, old, all walks of life, with the angels that came, if you know your Bible, came to meet with Lot and warn him about the dire consequences of what was to come. Divine judgment. Are we not to think that there will not be divine judgment again? Are we ignorant enough to think that when morals and cultural degrade and decline, and by the way, all of this is being engineered by a number of sources, whether or not it's the mainstream media or it's the political agenda that we're seeing, or it's all these things, all roads are leading to the same destination. Now, we know, for example, when you overtake a nation, you overtake and conquer civilization, the first thing that you do is destroy that people's culture. You destroy their morality so that they don't recognize it anymore. And this is what we're seeing all across California. We're seeing it on the streets. And now, researchers, medical professionals are warning of a leprosy outbreak. Just one of the consequences of everything we've just talked about. Millions and millions of people in California are at risk, not just from the big one hitting, not just from fire and brimstone, but diseases that we haven't seen since the Middle Ages, since the Dark Age, that wiped out millions and millions of people across the planet. What's the reason for this? How is it in today's day and age, when supposedly we have all of this medical technology, all these resources, our cities, Los Angeles, Hollywood, these places have become the cesspools that they are today, where people are suffering and dying on the streets of malnutrition and disease. And now we have things like leprosy and typhus ravaging the American public. Is this not the zombie apocalypse? Is this not the sign of economic, social, moral degrade and decline? And is this not the intention of the said leadership governing this state? And more importantly, many of the people governing this country. Wake up. How many more warnings are you going to get? How many more earthquakes are going to come and warn the people of California to leave and to flee and to seek shelter in the mountains as the angels had to forcefully remove Lot? Now remember, they also told Lot's wife not to turn around and looked behind as they were fleeing, and she did. She made that fateful act, and she turned into a pillar of salt. You know, we've grown accustomed to the big cities, and they're so convenient. Isn't it so nice? It's a lot harder to live on rural properties or rural land, or to seek shelter in the mountains, or have to subsist on our own, to actually have real skills, to get our hands dirty, to roll up our sleeves. We've gotten so used to what the city provides us. But have we not turned into modern Babylon, building up our own egos and altars so that we can pretend to be our own gods? Is that not the transhuman agenda? Build an altar to yourself, merge with the machines, become God Himself. You see, we're just repeating cyclically the same mistakes over and over again. But the point of this video, really, it's a message to Californians from a guy who has fled, who has left, who grew up there, who still has a lot of love in his heart for California, who thinks it's beautiful, who it was an amazing place to grow up, and now this. You know, almost all of my friends have left California, all of them that were born there. Smart individuals, talented people, people with money, people with businesses, people with culture, people with real understanding of what's going on there. Cultural degrade. You know, I spent about a year in Hollywood, and honestly, I had to leave as quickly as I got there because that place is an absolute vile pit of darkness. We see it with people like Harvey Weinstein. We see it run rampant in Hollywood today, and the messaging that they give our children, the propaganda that they feed their brains. And we are looking, and we are laying witness to modern day Sodom. I've had the vision. I've seen the burning embers of a city collapsing. I felt the terror in my own heart. It's woken me up, shot me up in the middle of the night multiple times. I see that rage. Whether or not it's a natural disaster, it's the long overdue big one hitting, it's the Cascadian fault line erupting, or other faults that they said are dormant and are quiet, which they're now telling the American public and California residents aren't dormant. Something big is about to hit. Now look, most of you are probably going to write this off, and most of you probably won't listen. I'm kind of the modern equivalent of that guy in a street corner holding a sign that the end is near. But honestly, I don't care about that. I don't care. You know, this video is an attempt to maybe just save one person. One. Abraham said to God, he said, God, what if there are 50 holy men in the city of Sodom? Would you not save them? Would you not save the whole city for the sake of those that are righteous? And God said, yes, I would. I will. He said, well, God, I don't mean to test you. I'm paraphrasing my own words. What if there's only 40 righteous men? Will you still save Sodom? And God said, yes. And then he said, well, what if there's only 30 or 20 or 10? And still God said, yes. I would save them. I would save the righteous. If there was just one. But there wasn't. There wasn't. It had all fallen. It was all darkness. It was all hellfire. And it had to be exterminated. Lot fled. The angels pulled him. He at first wanted to go to another city. Can I just go to this other one? Do I really have to go to the mountains? He eventually fled to that city and then eventually fled to the mountains. Look, if your gut, in your heart, something is telling you that there's something wrong, you want to scream. The bottom of your soul, you're seeing social, societal, cultural degrade in collapse in your home state. You see people dying in the streets. You see homeless people on the rise. And now the threat of virulent disease. You know what some of the symptoms are of leprosy? Blindness. Is that not a metaphor for the city of angels? Maybe for good portions of humanity? That they're just blind? They can't even see with their own eyes. A serpent came to Adam and Eve and said, Eve, your eyes will open. You will be just like God. Is that not what we're still being sold? By Hollywood, by government, by all these people. Take the chip. Your eyes will be opened. It's amazing. You're going to have superpowers. You'll understand multiple languages. You could download a book or an encyclopedia in an instant. You could learn how to fly an airplane or a helicopter at the snap of your fingers. Your eyes will be opened. It's going to be amazing. Worship the AI. Worship the artificial intelligence. This video is a warning of judgment, divine intervention coming to Los Angeles and California. It is a warning to those of you still there to get out now. Don't look back. Learn the lesson of Lot's wife who turned into a pillar of salt, who tested that divinity. Again, if this video only wakes up one of you, gets you to act, gets you to move, gets you to understand the truth, then I've done my job. Because I'm speaking the darn truth. Get this video out everywhere. Share it with your friends and family, your loved ones, especially if they live in California. The time to act is now. We warned to prepare. We warned to get food. We warned to get water. We warned to learn to protect yourself, to develop these skills so that in a crisis, you know you're not reactive, you're proactive. We told you that the Bahamas would be a disaster. We told you it would be a storm of a century. And that's exactly what happened. In fact, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced. It's a tragedy. People are fighting and even killing each other over food right now. As I speak, as I deliver this video, there's been a mass humanitarian effort to bring food and supplies from the U.S. government and also independent third-party organizations to get these people the resources they need. Yet still, people mock these kinds of things. They mock preparation. They mock survival supplies. They mock preparing. I want to encourage you, number one, all today to pray for the people in the Bahamas. Pray for their salvation. Pray that they can simply get food and water into their stomachs and seek shelter. And those that need to get out, pray that that is allowed. But also, please, consider for yourself, if you don't already have food and water, we've got great supplies at our store at store.amtvmedia.com, and we have them on huge discounts right now. The most competitive pricing. Great food. It's food that I use for myself and my family. And again, it's so important, guys, that you at least have 6 months minimum, in my humble opinion. Check it out today. Click the link below or visit store.amtvmedia.com. Take these warnings seriously. Prepare yourself so you're not reacting to a crisis. You're prepared ahead of time. Look, put your faith in the guy above. Don't live in fear, but don't be stupid. Prepare now. Get it at our store. Support what we're doing. Spread the message. And please pray for those in need. God bless.